It's Friday, and welcome to Practice Makes Pros. This video is already late enough, so I'm not going to dwell on excuses. I'm just going to go straight into this week's topic. So, this week, following along with our monthly topic of endings, we are talking about right endings versus happy endings. And it's not necessarily happy endings, it's any sort of happy ending, heartbreaking ending, any sort of thing like that you would try to put an emotional thing with the ending versus the right ending. And the whole reason I picked this topic for this month, and actually it was the topic that kind of spurred this month's overall topic, was because I was talking to a couple of inkies about endings, because I was working on a thing that was sort of the end of a particular thread in some character arcs for a story, and I was having a really hard time with it, just emotionally getting through it. And even though I knew it was the right ending for that point, I was just having a really hard time getting through it and coming to terms with it. So that kind of spurred a conversation with me and the inkies about endings, and sort of we were talking about happy endings and heartbreaking endings and things like that, and a lot of authors seem to get stuck on this idea, and readers too, that they will only go with endings that are happy, these really sometimes cheesy happy things where everything's all smiles and everything works out in the end. And then you have these endings where nothing goes right, everybody is upset, tons of people die, maybe just these heartbreaking, sad endings. And some people will only read books like that, or it will only write endings like that. And it's just kind of, a lot of times we get stuck with putting that sort of emotional title on the endings, and we forget maybe what the right ending is for those characters, because sometimes your characters will head toward a happier ending, and maybe everything will work out in the novel for them, while sometimes nothing will work out at all. And it doesn't matter really what your pattern is for your endings, just different stories have different endings. And so when you're writing the ending of your story, or you're planning it, just coming to figure out what that ending is going to be, it's all about focusing more on what is right for these characters. What is going to be believable in the end, that these characters will make these choices, that things would work out like this for them, and not necessarily making sure that you have a happy ending or a really sad ending. It's all about what is right. And I think that's one of the most important things that we have to remind ourselves of as writers, not even just for endings, but for everything in writing, that sometimes we're going to want to get stuck on these certain little things and making sure that we head in that direction and keep our story within these certain lines, rather than just going with what's right for it. And I say this all the time, saying yes to the story and going that direction. And sometimes when you're writing, what feels right in one draft will change when you're doing revisions and writing the next draft. That happens, and that's part of writing and rewriting. So that kind of falls into the whole Practice Makes Pros thing. What is right will change for your story, and you have to be able to change with that and accept it, and be willing to look more toward that right ending for your characters. So this whole video is pretty much an excuse for me to remind you once again to just say yes to your characters and your ideas, and just let things happen with your story, and you will come across the right ending eventually, and it will all work out. So yeah, that's all for this video. Don't forget to check out Joe's video tomorrow, because this video is late, so her video will be up tomorrow on Monday, and I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say on right endings versus happy endings. And yeah, that's all from me this week. We will be back with our final topic of the month, I believe this is week 3, on Wednesday with Ali's video. So, yeah, happy writing, and don't forget, practice makes pros. And also, Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye!